This week on The Real Housewives of Orange County.
Jenn lied and said you drugged her. And Slade said, tell Katie to stick to the story. Tell her not to waver. That's the nail in her coffin.
Wait, what?
His exact words were, she has to stick to the story because it's a legal issue.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be recapping the new episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode 14. Let's get right into this. So the episode begins with Tamra and Katie meeting up. Tamra tells her the ladies didn't want me to meet with you, but Gretchen keeps lying and Slade is involved, and I'm trying to figure out what the truth is. Then they show some kind of like foreshadow, Katie saying something and Tamra's being like, she's shocked, but that was just like a little tease. We go back to 24 hours, so that's kind of where the episode actually begins. So we start out with Gretchen and Emily meeting up. Gretchen loves to dress as like a Hallmark, pioneer, Christian, traditional woman. So Emily is going to be hosting a fundraiser. She says that she doesn't practice law anymore, which doesn't surprise me because her logic doesn't make any sense half the time. But she is still involved with the Innocence Project. She says that allows her to be involved in the legal world in a humanitarian way. And I'm a very big fan of the Innocence Project. I think it's great. I don't know if Emily only works with them for the show, but regardless of if whether or not that's the case, I do think it brings a lot of awareness for her to have it be part of the show, and I think it's very important. So Emily's going to be doing a fundraising event for a man named Anthony, who we actually got to see last season. He's one of the individuals that the Innocence Project has helped, and they want to help him because it's one thing to get out of prison, but it's another to actually rebuild your life, get into a routine of a job and, get back into society. So that's what the purpose of that's going to be. So Gretchen then asks her, how did it go at Tamra's house the other day? And Emily's like, not good. Do you remember that comment saying that I trusted Tamra the least? Well, that caused a major problem. And Gretchen says, well, every time Tamra is confronted, she blows up, she storms out. And then Emily's like, yeah, she literally stormed out like 5 times yesterday. You have no idea. I was just being honest with her. And then Gretchen says, exactly. She can't take the truth. Emily says, and one more thing. Tamra wants to meet with Katie, who has no credibility. She's a pathological liar. But she just wants to hurt you. And I told her that if she meets with Katie, she's going to have a big problem with me. Gretchen agrees, but Gretchen does have a bone to pick with Emily. She calls Emily a pot stirrer. She still has that bone to pick with Emily because remember, Emily is the one that went to Tamra and ran back what Gretchen said about this whole singer that Tamra allegedly slept with. So Gretchen calls her out. She calls her a pot stirrer, and before you know it, they start to argue. Emily's like, you need to own up to it. You were the one talking about it, and then you brought it up. It's defamatory. And then Gretchen says, well, yeah, but you wanted to know, and you kept on saying play the song, and you wanted me to call Slade, and you know what is defamatory? And then she wants to pull out her phone. So they're just going back and forth, and Emily walks out the store. She literally walks out. All right, so then we see Tamra meeting up with Gina. Tamra says to Gina, I'm exhausted. It's so much. I can't take it. And then Gina's like, I know. And she says that last night gave her like a flashback to how Tamra was at Vicki's engagement party. You remember when Tamra ran and hid inside of a bush? That's what she's talking about. But Gina does feel a lot of sympathy for Tamra, and she understands that she feels overwhelmed. And she agrees that Gretchen is hurting Tamra. Matter of fact, she says that she understands Tamra being mad with Gretchen, Jenn, and even Shannon, but she does think that she shouldn't feel that type of way with Emily and Heather because she says that those two truly do care about her. So then Heather actually joins them. And Gina's like, oh, hey, we were just talking about how overwhelming it's been for Tamra when people are coming at her. And Heather says, I understand that because I love you and you are my friend. But then Tamra's like, well, you said you were afraid of me and you said that you didn't trust me, so why would you want to be my friend? Heather says, well, I already explained it to you once. I can explain it again. And then Tamra's like, don't be condescending. She says that what hurt her even more, not only did Emily and Heather say that they trusted her the least, it's also the fact that they said it to Gretchen, who we all know just is Tamra's enemy. Let's just put it that way. But Heather's trying to apologize and to move forward. So then we see Shannon walking with Archie, picking up after him, and she heads over to Jenn's house, who has a whole bunch of dogs. And the reason they're meeting is because they're having an animal psychic. These people are running out of ideas, I swear. Because what? The dogs are adorable, but I don't understand the purpose of it. I mean, the psychic, she says that there are certain things that the dogs want to say to their owners. Okay, I mean, Shannon had a whole bunch of questions for Archie. Does he miss her daughters? Does he like to go to the park? I can't. And apparently Archie wants a brother. But let's get to the next scene. So we finally get to the good part. Katie is back. It's crazy how she's just been like erased off the show. But I'm glad we got to see a peek of her one more time here. So she and Tamra meet up. And Katie explains how, it's been a while since she's been here with the group. She's hurt mainly with Jenn. That's the one who hurt her the most. She did not expect that from Jenn. Tamra then goes on with her fake tears. She's like, I've been the odd man out so many times, and I'm being the odd man out right now. And then Katie says, I really did feel bad for what I did to you. I did not mean to hurt you ever. And Tamra says, I know, and your apology definitely goes a long way. She says, I'm trying to figure out the truth. I remember hearing you say that Slade called Matt and said something about we can't talk about this. Katie says no. So what happened was Gretchen lied and said that you drugged her. Slade then called Matt and told him, tell Katie to stick to the story. Tell her not to waver because that's the nail in the coffin. She has to stick to the story because it could be a legal issue. And Katie has a text message where she says to Gretchen, hey, I won't say anything. So I guess that message proves that there was something that was said by Gretchen and Slade that was not supposed to be said. And Katie says she really did want to cover for Gretchen, but really she was being used by Gretchen to cover her lies. Tamra says that's what they do. That's what both of those people do. She uses Slade to do the dirty work, and she wants to act all innocent. And Katie says, well, yeah, because Matt even wanted to reach out to Slade and say, let's speak man to man. To which Tamra says, well, he's not a man. Slade's not a man. He's a douchebag. That was pretty much it. There wasn't really a big bombshell that was dropped or anything like that. But I guess what was significant is that Tamra finally just decided to give Katie the time of day and acknowledge what she was saying. Because she didn't say anything new. She said everything that we've already heard her say. But the fact that she is giving her that space, it's definitely going to upset the women. So, I mean, it is what it is. By the way, this episode, it just had a lot of filler scenes. Why did we have to see Gina organizing her shoes and see Jenn clean her bathroom? I feel like at this point, I do know they filmed the reunion today. Let's get to the finale. Let's just get to it. Because 3 more episodes? I can't. Alright, so then we see Heather, and she has an event with an organization called the Travel Project. It's an organization for youth in crisis. They run a hotline, and she says that she is an ally of the LGBTQ, and this is very important to her. So she gives a speech of the youth who try to hurt themselves. So that's why supporting this organization is so important. And they actually have an Oreo confetti cheesecake cookie that I want to try, by the way. It looked really good. So every sale of the cookie will go to the Trevor Project, and then her and Terry will be donating $50,000. It was a very quick scene. They only showed a little bit of it. The only ones from the show that we saw that were there were Emily, Gina, and Tamra. Alright, so then this next scene was in Emily's house. And again, it's about the Innocence Project conversation. So she had some exonerees over to her house, and they share their stories on how they were wrongfully convicted and how just how corrupt these people can be. You know, the people that take away these people's innocence. Many of these people have kids, and when they're wrongly convicted, and yeah, even though they get released, some of them, they'll never get that time back. It's really sad. I hope that they're getting so much money from the state, because it's just, I can't even imagine. Okay, so it's the next day, and it's the day for Emily's fundraising event. It's like a hoedown event. So we see them all get ready. As Gretchen is in her house getting ready, she talks to Slade about how Eddie will be there with Tamra. And then Slade's like, yeah, well, let me tell you, us men, we don't respect Eddie. He just lets her say anything. And then people begin to arrive. Elizabeth Vargas was there. I love her. I loved how Ryan and even Travis, you know, they came on theme. Slade couldn't even bother, even though it's his wife's event. And Eddie came in with like some outfit that it just wasn't on theme. So everybody's hanging out. Gina telling the girls that she thinks her boyfriend Travis looks so hot as a cowboy. It was funny because she turns and there was some girl all over him that was talking to him. By the way, Emily, you know, she's talking to some people about the event and the purpose of it, and she gave us a statistic that is mind-blowing. 4 to 6% of people that are incarcerated in the country are wrongly convicted. That is way too much. It shouldn't even be 0.0001%. Like, it should be none. But it's, you know, it's just the reality. Okay, so Emily found out that Tamra met with Katie. So she's telling Jenn about it. And then Jenn is mad about it, so she goes up to Tamra and she says, hey, what did Katie tell you? And Tamra's like, well, you know, it went good. She told me some things. I don't really want to say them to you because I know you're friends with Gretchen. Speaking of which, Gretchen and Slade arrive. They look good, but as soon as Gretchen gets there, Emily tells her, hey, Tamra met with Katie. So now Emily, Jenn, Gretchen, and even Shannon are mad at Tamra for meeting with Katie because they say that she only did that because of how much she hates Gretchen, which, to be fair, is true, but they also just despise Katie for whatever reason, so they're just mad about her meeting with her. Alright, anyway, then Emily gives a brief speech, and so does Anthony, of the importance of the fundraiser. That was good. And then they all do some line dancing, which was kind of funny to watch. Some drinking, kind of fun. Gina and Travis, I thought it was super dope. They gave $50,000 donation, and then Terry and Heather matched that $50,000 donation. And yeah, so everyone's kind of just hanging out. Tamra was keeping her distance from Gretchen. Meanwhile, Jenn stirring the pot. So she tells Gretchen, hey, so like Tamra met with Katie, and like I heard that they talked about you and Slade. So then Gretchen says, oh no, we're going over there to talk to her right now. So then Gretchen grabs Slade's hand and they go towards Tamra. And as soon as they approach her, Tamra says, no, this is not happening. She walks away, grabs Eddie, and they get the hell out. And then Gretchen's like, run, bitch, run. Honestly, this is probably the only Tamra walk-off that I support. Because I really don't think anything positive would have come out from her talking to Gretchen and Slade. Eddie flipped them off as he left. I think he should have been more of a man about it. But it's Eddie, you know. So Tamra left. And then back inside, Emily is telling Gretchen that it was very aggressive the way they approached Tamra, the way Slade and Gretchen were coming at her. But then Gretchen screams and yells at Emily about how, no, she was talking about Slade and he has the right to defend himself. It was too much. But that was the end of the episode. Listen, you guys. Like I said, wrap this up. Let's get to the finale and let's get to the reunion. Because I can't take this anymore. Like, I feel like the past 4 to 5 episodes have just been very, very not enjoyable. But you guys, like I said, the reunion was filmed today. And I don't know if you guys saw the seating chart, but it was a little bit surprising. I truly expected Katie to be first chair. She has been the most talked about person this entire season. She's the last chair. So let me show it, or let me say it. So it's Andy in the middle. Then to his left, it's Tamra, first chair, followed by Gina, Heather, and Katie. And then on the other side, the first chair is Jenn, of all people. Then it's Emily, Shannon, and Gretchen. That's strange. I don't know what that's about, but we'll have to wait and see. What did you guys make of this seating chart? And what did you guys make of this episode? Like I said, Tamra, it is what it is. She's meeting with Katie, yes, but at the same time, I can't forget that it was really Tamra who began this whole anti-Katie campaign in the first place. But at the same time, at least Katie now has someone giving her the time of day. So I kind of have mixed emotions about it, but y'all let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.